actually. So get it. It's like a wee trumpet or something. A wee. Can you bend it off the edge of, like, you know, you bend it round and it makes that like noise. Yeah. Fucking bass legend, man. Absolute fucking bass visionary.
So going into the bass tracking of the album, when it finally got round to that point, I felt really comfortable, and it really went very smoothly. I'd practiced quite a lot. I remember taking about 2 weeks really just playing the album through in its entirety.
I wasn't really there for a lot of the tracking. I was at a few, but didn't really. I just know William. I know he'll do like an absolutely fantastic job.
The bass was really a bit of a breeze, to be honest.
I think William underplays how good a bass player he is.
I'm by no means, you know, a bass head, and I'm not mega into my instrument on a personal level. I like having fun and energy on stage much more than I like sitting in my room becoming an awesome bass player. So this time around I wanted to just learn my parts really well and write them really well as well, because a lot of the time I was just following the guitars and not really doing anything massively different with, and not that I'm doing anything groundbreaking on this album really, but you know, from my point of view, a lot more effort went into the writing side of the bass than ever before.
We both recognised this time round there needs to be a sort of synergy between the rhythm section.
And one thing me and Liam done was we were just getting practices together, just drums and just bass.
So it's basically just an extension of the previous one.
Yeah.
So that's what
like 3 days or whatever, and just went in every day. It was snowing an absolute fucker, I remember that, and we had to cancel one of the days because it was snowing so bad. But what we essentially done was just sort of decide, okay, this section here, there's a lot of space here, what can the rhythm section do to really enhance this section?
I was writing the bass lines really to lock in with a lot of stuff that he wanted to do. So there's a lot of cool bits on the album where, you know, the guitar riffs may be mega fast or something complicated, and me and Liam are just, you know, tucked back, the bass drum and the bass guitar, just locking in and doing something cool.
We were very intentional on how we played together.
So if you listen out for that, hopefully there's, you know, a noticeable thing that's happening between the drums and the bass in a lot of sections that isn't just everyone following the same kind of thing.
after that, we did everything at Oliver's.
Right, Billy, what's your
These are the
current?
bass strings I'm using on the album. They're Ernie Ball Super Slinky Bass 5s. They're 40 to 125. What I do with the 40, I don't need that. I've got a 4-string bass.
Get it binned.
But we play is detuned for everything, C sharp standard with a drop B. So I use the 125 to the 60 for pure beef.
Oof.
And I do like my strings to be quite tight on the neck. I used to use 4-string set, they were always flappy and slappy. So, Ernie balls.
Ernie balls for pure beef.
And also they're so easy to find. I can't be bothered with this sort of, very specific needs for you. Get this in any music shop.
That is fair.
And they're not that expensive, so.
None of my bollocks were his elixirs or nothing. Probably could have spent a week on it in total, but because we were doing it ourselves and we weren't really reliant on studio time, we kind of just did it whenever we were all free. Right, are you ready? No, that's fine. I can get more fucking shreddies.
It was really good because you had that kind of freedom to just keep trying and make it as tight as you can. And you're sitting watching Billy doing his bass, and you can kind of critique and share ideas with each other and just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And the same with the guitars.
That was
I
pretty
don't think-
fucking good.
Nah, I don't think that was as tight as the first one, man.
Well, the bit after it was very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the first fast riff was.
A bit, yeah.
Wow.
Wow, I need to fix the fuck out of that.
Nice.
Shit my fucking nappy there, man.
Get that to fuck.
In terms of the bass tone, what we'd done was we kind of combined 3 different things to make the eventual tone.
I don't know, me and Billy spent quite a while on it, trying to get something that we both liked.
I think when I went into the room, me and Oliver had a very different idea of what the bass tone was going to be. Oliver likes quite a high-end, sort of clanky tone.
Because I like really punchy, almost really aggressive, kind of almost guitar sounding bass. It probably stems from the fact that I just don't know how to play bass properly anymore. Whereas Billy kind of comes from more, I don't know, his kind of taste in bass kind of almost reminds me a little bit of Steve Harris.
And I quite like a low-end kind of, not muffled, but like a sort of rounded edge, sort of distortion, low-endy kind of tone.
Kind of you've got that kind of really clean kind of rumble going on instead of just the kind of I'm a bass, yeah.
So, after we actually done what normal people do and communicate with each other what we actually wanted, we ended up meeting in the middle.
Hello, let me explain this to you. So we've got a bass player who comes out of the bass and then going into the dark glass. We're then splitting the signal from the dark glass. So we've got a clean output going into here, and we've also got dark glass distorted input going into here, which is, as you can see, is Wilb tone 1, and then that comes out from here and then into there, and then that sounds like this.
We used my dark glass pedal, and we took the clean DI out of that. So the first aspect is the clean DI, and then we took the dirty distortion from the dark glass, which is it's a great sounding pedal. It wasn't getting quite the high end kind of clank that was really going to help it cut through in the mix. So we then added Oliver's Line 6 pod into the mix, which added a bit more gain, a bit more high end, and we just blended all 3 of them together, and it sounds good and it cuts through nice and tasty. It's a pretty darn good bass tone.
So it didn't take too long. I'm really glad we spent time on it, and I'm really glad that Billy didn't just let me do what I wanted if we wasn't really vibing, which is overall why I really liked the album process.
So yeah, the bass recording was pretty good. I was pretty chuffed with how it went. Oliver was still a living, breathing, human at this point. I hadn't eaten his entire soul by the time we'd done the bass guitar, so the mood was good in the room.
It was interesting kind of getting people's outside perspective on it, instead of just having me being well, I know this sounds good in my head, whereas other people kind of going, it may sound good, but it's not what we like. So it's cool. I liked it.
I just wanted to say a very quick thank you to everybody who's tuned in to watch these videos and to hopefully learn more about us as a band, because it's something that we noticed that we weren't giving back to people, because at the end of the day when we play shows and people come out to them, that's the best thing about being in this band. So we're just trying to, you know, do some video stuff and allow you to learn a little bit more about us and what we do, and pretty much describe to you how stressful an ordeal it is making this shit and how much we hate each other at the end of the process. But at the same time bringing everybody together, learning a bit about it, and just trying to be more expressive as people, because, you know, that's a healthy thing. So thank you very much for listening, and hopefully you're going to check out our new album Suffocator, which comes out on April 20th 2019, 420.